Now you want to tell me you want to struggle. Like, bro, I didn't put this effort in
absolutely.
so that you can set the whole family back. I thought you'd be a doctor. Like, if I'm going to be a nurse and work these nursing shifts, there's so many people, immigrant parents that do work nursing shifts, I'm expecting you to be a doctor. Like, you need to level up.
Exactly.
Not do something that will put you back down because how does that reflect on me? How do I feel and stuff? And I understand that perspective for them. That they're just people. But,
To be fair, I was going to say, because I was surprised because when my dad came up to drop me off after Christmas, he sees all the equipment and everything. So he was like, and he didn't know about the podcast at all. Only my older sister did. So he was like, Tommy, you should start a podcast. You know, like,
man realized you were talking too much from earlier and said, this is the career for you.
And we're back. It's Slider's podcast. I'm your host, Who's Tap. Find out on the pod, aka the champion. And to my left, who have I got?
You got your boy Mo, aka the wild card.
On my right,
your boy Tom, man in the streets, voice of the people, what them.
And we got a special guest in the building. We got
Fola.
Okay. Any AKAs, Fola?
There's none.
BT's boy.
What?
Isn't that?
I beg your pardon?
BT's boy. I follow Beats.
I follow G.
I follow the BT's boy thing. I just got it from Nux, the musician. You heard of him?
Nux, yeah.
It was like a little track or an interlude, as you would call it, on one of his albums. So I just thought it was cool, and then I was like, you know what? That's gonna be my Twitter handle.
Right.
I've changed it to my regular name now. So
what does BT's mean though?
I don't know. I just thought it sounded cool.
It sounds very cool. It's very been mysterious. We like it. Okay. And on today's episode, we're talking about Genius. And Genius, aka the Kanye West documentary. And we all watched it. And I think it's still releasing at the time of this recording. We're going to be talking about the first episode of Genius and just what we took away from it, different parts that we liked, key moments in it. And this might be a conversation about Kanye West overall. Like, he's in the media right now. At the time of this recording, his album hasn't dropped, so it's going to be everything Kanye this episode. Genius. What were your thoughts for them?
I can't even lie. We're only on episode 1, and it's literally one of my favorite documentaries already. And it's so inspiring for the fact that his cameraman had left his job behind to record Kanye before his career even started. Shows that he had that belief in him. Can you imagine that? Literally, you left your comfortable situation to record a struggling rapper, to make the distinction that he was a successful producer, producing beats for people like Jay-Z, for example. But his road to where he is now as a rapper, it wasn't easy whatsoever.
It wasn't. And like what you were saying, Mo was saying something similar to that yesterday about there's betting on yourself. This is what Mo was saying. He can elaborate. But there's betting on yourself, and then there's betting on someone else. And if Kanye flops, you flop too. Exactly. And it's not just that. It's like you flopped, putting your life on someone else's hands to get me. But what else were you thinking on that?
Pretty much just a number of followers. What he got from the thing. Really inspiring. Definitely the best documentary I think that will ever be made. Because from this point...
Across all genres, though, come on.
No, because I think from this point, in terms of, like, authentic documentary, because Kanye's brought this out, and he's done it from when he was early, anyone that now does a documentary from early, they're kind of imitating Kanye's. So it's not an original idea. Whereas Kanye is practically the first to have a documentary from this age, before I was successful, follow me for 20 plus years, or it's about 20 years at this point. And he blew. And he was actually successful.
Volume.
Sorry.
Microphone.
And he was actually successful.
Imagine. It's not you today, Tom. Me know.
I'm just saying, did you see them sound waves?
Yeah. I apologize. But imagine all those other people, because there's probably people out there that maybe had similar ideas about, let me record myself, I'm going to blow. You can have faith in yourself, but it doesn't mean you're always going to follow through. So in terms of, documentary that's authentic, from the beginning before you got successful, and you actually became successful as well. That's one in a trillion type story.
Wait, real quick, I haven't seen many documentaries, but you've seen, was it the Ronaldo documentary? Like you've seen some football documentaries.
I've seen a couple football documentaries.
And how would
just
you
documentaries in
compare
general.
those in terms of style and authenticity, which is
No, but the way they tell those, the way documentaries are usually told anyway, is that they get people from your life.
Yeah.
So they'll take people from your life from early, when you weren't successful, to when you are successful, in between, gather stories that are just gonna hit home. And those are still good documentaries.
Exactly.
Like those are still documentaries that are gonna be worth being made, even after Kanye's, right? But Kanye's is he's getting the people in the moment. Getting people in the moment while you're not successful on that journey to hopefully being successful is crazy.
Yeah, like, did you, sorry sister, like,
No worries.
as you were saying on that, did you see the part where he got Pharrell to speak into the camera?
Exactly.
Like, Pharrell was massive at that time. He's produced many of the hits that we've all heard and loved. For example, Hot in Here.
Yeah.
And he's produced some songs off the Justin Timberlake Justified album. So he's up there at the time.
Huge.
Yeah.
And then for the fact that Kanye came out here and asked him to speak into the camera for his documentary way back in the early 2000s, as Mo said, that's quite different.
Bro, it's crazy because you're not getting someone to be like, okay, cool. If Pharrell did that now, of course, you would just be like, of course, okay, cool, of course, you believed in Kanye, sure. Everyone back then probably did, cool. Like, it could be bullshit, but you're getting called out 20 years ago, you're fully just saying to the camera, yeah, Kanye's gonna be the next big thing. His mum was backing him. Like, obviously, you'd always hope your parents are backing you, whatever you're doing, right? Mm-hmm. But his mum is literally one of his, you could always say that anyway, because you can tell through his music. But his mum has literally been one of his biggest driving factors. The belief that she had in him. That little scene where they were rapping together, and it's one of his raps when he was young. And she remembered the lyrics, and then it brought it back to him, and then he started spitting it. And even though she had just done it, it was different when it was coming from Kanye. Yeah, it's inspiring, and it's just different. Like what you can take from it when it's in that actual time.
Yeah,
I just think it's
we'll cut into that
invaluable.
further about just a supportive parental figure and what it truly means to like believe in your child. Because there's a lot of good parents that are there that believe in their child, but that is
it makes,
to a degree.
it makes such a massive difference having that parental backing behind you as well.
When you look at examples like Lewis Hamilton, Serena Williams, like those parents, like they believed in their kids, like you are going to be the next big thing.
Exactly.
Tiger Woods as well. Like when you see in sports, especially, I think sports, we see it more in sports because sports is more tangible for a parent to be like, yeah, I can see you playing for a team. You don't have to play for the top 5, but you can maybe play for a decent team.
You could say it's more linear in the sense, whereas a musician, like the career as a musician, it can go up and down. Like, for example, there are many artists that we all heard of back in 2017, 18. They're here today and gone tomorrow. As, for example, Lil Pump. Has anyone heard of him recently?
He's chopping things on OnlyFans.
That's my point, exactly. Here today, gone tomorrow. Just make one good hit, eat off that, and then do whatever you want. And you're not really a legend, as you would say.
Exactly. Yeah. Or even just succeeding in the career, going back to that tangibility of, I can see you playing for a team.
Exactly.
Not the best one, but you can play for a team and make a career. So let's put all this energy into football, right? With an artist, bro, you might not even make it. Like, I can't envision that.
Exactly.
You rapping. Like, what do you mean you want to rap, fam? On the corners for coins. Is that what you mean by rap?
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean by rapping that? You don't see it. So it's harder to believe in your child creativity-wise. Whether it's them painting, acting, all these other things. I think Damsden Idris, the star for Snowfall, I saw a little bit about his background and how he was acting from young. Like, he always wanted to be an actor as a kid, and his parents backed it and put him into schools. Look where he is now. He's pretending to be a drug dealer in America right now. It's mad. But real quick, Tom, your thoughts on the documentary as well?
I thought it was quite interesting because it touched on, I know my favorite part of the documentary was when it touched on his relationship with his mentor. Like, you know, the brother, the one that ended up even releasing a diss track about him.
Oh, the guy that helped him learn how to make beats.
Yeah.
Beats,
I found that mad interesting.
What was his name again?
Start with a D, didn't it?
Exactly, bro. No one knows who he is now.
They're
not around no more. They're not around no more.
Nah, I just found that I found that relationship quite interesting because he felt disrespected from an interview that Kanye did, and man turned around and started rapping about it in a song, and even the way they even handled it in person, like, you know, because they even showed the footage from them like talking about hashing it out in the parking lot. I was like, this is mad, Man, it wasn't just like, oh, I'm partying. Let me film it or nothing. Man documented everything that was going on, from like him working to his family life to beef he had with previous mentors. I just thought it was just mad insightful into like what actually went into making someone like Kanye.
Yeah.
Because even from then, like no one believed in Kanye more than Kanye. Like,
Yeah.
Second to that is his mom.
Honestly.
because thing is, even his mom, like, she wanted him to go uni, but she still supported him, even though he didn't. But still backed him. Like deep it. Like, what's an example? She knew every word of one of his songs from time ago.
Hey Mama, yeah.
Deep it. How many people can say that their parents support their craft so much they can recite so much of their work? Like, you have to deep how much this woman actually...
Very far and few.
Exactly. How much this woman supported and believed in her son.
Like, for most people, they're doing their creative businesses without their parents knowing, fam, because they're gambling on the chance that if I blow, then I can tell them because I have something to bring back. But if I flop, I'll just keep it to myself because you don't want your... Because with African parents, more time, with the Black British experience, immigrant parents, they're coming here like, you need to go to uni. All this music and football, that's not where your life will be.
It's because it's more linear. And to an extent, I understand it because sometimes it's all they know. Imagine your pet, for example... Your parents are working 70, 80-hour weeks in jobs that they may not enjoy. And then you come home from school telling them that you want to be a rapper. You want to create a clothing brand. He's like, you want to sell T-shirts? You want to do rap? Like, they're thinking, like, what the fuck? We're going through all of this pain and suffering for you to want to be a rapper. Whereas uni is a thing where you do your own work and no one can take that away from you for the fact that your name, it says your name on the certificate, your uni, you got a 2-1 or a first. No one can take that away from you. It's, as I said before, it's more linear than going into the creative industry.
Quick question,
and one second. And also, I stopped holding it against like my parents or just parents in general because I at some point I saw my parents as human beings, and it sounds weird, but as a kid or growing up, you might not see them as human beings because they're these figures that they're almost like gods in the sense that they provide your shelter, your food, your entertainment. They look after you. They care for you. Anything you want, mom, can I have this? Dad, can I have this? It's there. Like, they just do things for you and all that stuff. So you don't see them as humans. You don't compare them to your peers. Like, they're on a different level. But then when I put them on that thing where it's like, you're just a person like me, bro. That you came, you worked so hard, and in your head you had a vision of, I came from zero. I'm leveling up in life. Now you want to tell me you want to struggle. Like, bro, I didn't put this effort in
absolutely.
so that you can set the whole family back. I thought you'd be a doctor. Like, if I'm going to be a nurse and work these nursing shifts, there's so many people, immigrant parents do work nursing shifts, I'm expecting you to be a doctor. Like, you need to level up.
Exactly.
Not do something that will put you back down because... How does that reflect to me? How do I feel and stuff? And I understand that perspective for them. That they're just people. But,
to be fair, I was gonna say, cause I was surprised because when my dad came up to drop me off after Christmas, he sees all the equipment and everything. So he was like, and he didn't know about the podcast at all. Only my older sister did. So he was like, Tommy, you should start a podcast.
Man realized you were talking too much from earlier. Said this is great for you.
The talking you do, Tom, it can be useful, Tom.
Because this is the same guy that was even against playing rugby because it would interfere with my uni work, schoolwork. Sorry. So this is the same guy, same man. You should start a podcast. I was like, Dad, I was just like, yeah. I didn't say too much. Then he was like, I'm busy with uni and that. Then he was like, again, I was saying very little. Yeah. He was like, you could do very well at it. You and your friends can start a podcast. So I was like, I'll think about it, Dad. I'll think about it still. I'll think about it. I was like, I think the only reason I might not tell him is because I don't want my man listening to this thing still.
Yeah. I hear that. But wait, you mentioned rugby and stuff, yeah? And like that, but parents having faith in it. Like, what was that like for you? Did your parents support rugby enough to a point where you'd say, yeah, they fully backed rugby?
Nah, they paid my membership for rugby. That's probably the extent of it.
Okay.
They weren't really involved. They paid like my membership and got me my jerseys and stuff, which I actually appreciated. But that was probably the extent of it. Obviously, as soon as they thought it might interfere with my like schoolwork, they were like, "Tom, big man." I was like, "Mom, I'm in year 9. Leave me alone." I was, okay,
It's not the end of sport.
It's like, bro, it's not the end of, like,
It's just vibes at this
Exactly,
point.
but-
No serious
It's like,
exams.
I was like, I'm not doing my GCSEs. So she was like, I was like, allow me. He's like, oh. She's like, no, you're getting, look at this test. I'm like, Mom, I bet you when I finish school, you will not remember this test. But I'll remember not playing rugby. I'll remember not playing
that's
but you will not remember this test.
I remember not playing. Yeah, that's deep, fam. That's deep.
Like even because I did quite a lot of extracurricular activities. I was quite involved. The way my parents, listen, for each activity, there was a period where they tried to stop me from doing one of them because they thought it was interfering with my schoolwork.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like, and now I can't blame them. But listen, I was fuming.
Yeah, it's one of those things as we get older, you have to give your parents some grace and see where they were coming from.
Yeah.
no,
'Cause-
for real.
Because your parents know about the pod.
Yeah.
How did they take that? Like, what was the conversation like when you told them about the pod?
There was no conversation.
No conversation.
It was just like, yeah, so I'm doing a podcast.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. That was the end. My parents weren't too stressed. They weren't too fast, which was surprising. But my parents have got a lot more lenient as I've just got older.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
just had less to say as long as I'm passionate about it, so they ain't got nothing much to say.
Okay.
Sure, if I was trying to do football, some shit, they still say some shit. My mom's always got some shit to say about sports. You'll break your leg here, you'll break your leg there.
No, I understand that leniency because I'd visit my auntie in like brief periods. Yeah, so like every 3 years, every 4 years or something. So maybe 5-6 years ago, I visited. Now you need to be on books. You need to be on uni. Like you need to be education. You can't be out here on the streets. Cut to like maybe 2 years ago now, bro. TikTok. You need to go on TikTok. You need to go on YouTube. She told me to my 9-year-old, 6-year-old cousin at the time. Yeah, you're there watching these kids play on YouTube. We could be doing that too, man. Where's the bag? Like, why are you people not serious?
She's
I
not
want
wrong,
a soft life.
She's not wrong. She's not wrong.
Not wrong.
No.
That Ryan brother, that kid on what YouTube?
Which one? The one that plays with toys?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
He
I swear
makes
he's a millionaire.
bare
Isn't he?
peas.
He makes bare peas, but you don't even have to go that far, bro. There's a family in Brum that my cousin just watched. They just watch this random black family. They go off to play football. Like there's like, bro, there's bare these people. So they have like 6 kids, and like they go play 5-a-side, and they just watch them and record, and that's how they make their bag.
Would you man be on that?
Nah. That's not.
Families?
Wait, what?
Would you man be on that with your family? Like, you know, this family YouTube thing. Like, maybe not as cheesy as the ones you see on like, what's called the people that go, oh, the so and so fam, or maybe not as cheesy as them ones, but maybe even something like Steve-O.
Yeah, Steve.
Would you man be on that?
I'll be more on the Steve one because the difference between the ones on YouTube and Steve-O's is that the ones on YouTube are very staged. Like it's very staged, but Steve-O's very casual and he's just there in the moment, bro.
Yeah.
Like he'll just say whatever. It's not staged. That's his natural life. He doesn't have to force it. Because sometimes you look at these kids, bro, and you can see the red in
forced?
their eyes, like they're tired.
Their dad's telling you, just do that. Yeah,
do that one again. Yeah.
Do it again. Like, what? Who beat you? I beat him again. We need it on camera this time.
You weren't angry enough. Do that again.
Yeah.
That's on the 10th attempt as
It's
well.
like keeping up with the Kardashians, bro.
Yeah.
Exactly.
To be fair, they did really. Wait, I swear they've had like 10 seasons or something like that.
Yeah, they
That
did
is-
really well. They did really well.
That is crazy.
Do you think the documentary will cover that? I hope it does.
Are they doing it?
It's 2 more episodes
2
of
more
the Genius
episodes,
ones.
but I wonder if the documentary is gonna be like Kanye off late in maybe the last 5-10 years, Kanye, because this is going back how many years now?
To be fair, I have a feel so. I feel that the episode 1 is his beginning. I feel that episode 2 will be when he blew up, and episode 3 is when he started brewing in more. So like, let's say 2007-9 era. Well, we'll see because Kanye's been around for a long time, so there's a lot to go through in 3 parts. To be
There
fair,
is, I think episode 2 is definitely the crash and maybe his mom passing and stuff like that. But yeah, I think the Kanye documentary, what I took away from it for me was like how scary it is to believe in oneself. You get me?
yeah, it's really shunned upon because some people see him as arrogant. Personally, I see him that he has extreme self-belief. And for the fact that he came up the way he did, going through so much rejection with so much good content as well, is going to make you feel a way. So I understand why he behaves the way he does to a certain extent.
And it goes back to that supportive parental figure where he always got that reassurance from home. So because I have this reassurance from home, the outside world could tell me whatever it wants to tell me. But when I come back home, I'm like, someone's backing me in it. But when like you're at home, your parents are telling you the same thing that the people from the outside's telling you, like it feels like no one's on your side. You get me? Like it would generally feel like no one's on your side. But I mean, believing in yourself as in like, forget like what anyone else is telling you. Like whatever thing you want to do in life, do you, like if everyone watching this video in this room, like if you ask yourself the things you want to do in life, do you believe you can do them to the same degree Kanye believed he'll do what he do? And like, do you fully internalize and deep how scary it is to take a risk and do it and just do it? Because like with uni is the standard, you know, it's safe. Your chances of getting a job are better. I won't use the word guaranteed, but definitely. Your chances of getting a job are a lot higher than if you go out and do this other endeavor that might be in a creative field, in sports, in this and that, where there's no clear path for you. Uni is a clear road. Regardless, it's not a guaranteed road, but it's a clear line from point A to B.
Exactly.
When you can't see what your next step is, how brave are you to take that next step? You get me? And that's what the documentary made me question. Like, everything that I want to do, how brave am I to actually take that step? You get me? And that's just something I was deep in. Like, how do I even like practice, or what do I do to reassure myself, like to give me that? Because I don't believe it's something you switch on after watching one documentary.
Exactly.
And suddenly you're the genius. No. But I think it's just something that I'll just have to practice and build, you know. But I definitely took that away from the documentary.
Yeah, definitely.
No, but I feel like there should be some caution to the audience with your very inspiring message here. Because the big thing you have to consider here is that for Kanye, even though his career as a rapper definitely wasn't set in stone at that point, he was a well-established producer.
Yeah, exactly. That's
like, even if the rapping career flops, he still got beats.
Yeah.
He's still got beats. He's already produced with Jay-Z. Yeah. Like, that he can still fall back to that. At that point, he was already well established. That's something. But then I'm not going to say that he already worked to get his producership. To be as good as a producer as he was, yeah, he already had to put a crazy amount of hours in. So respect him for that. And then obviously still trying to go for the rapping thing because that's what he was making the beats for him to rap on them, not for other people. Yeah. Then cred to that. And that was the extremely brave part. Other people don't have that producership to fall back to. So obviously they should be more cautious in the way they're going about. I would say the more crazy story, if we're going to look at the Kanye documentary so far, is the cameraman, innit? Because as soon as he lets go of that career that he already had established and his family, all of that, to follow Kanye around 24/7.
Man moved to a different city to do it as well.
He's living off Kanye practically because he's not getting any money from the documentary until now. He's just getting. I'm just assuming Kanye was paying him this entire time that he was recording.
I looked at his page, like he's maybe directed some other stuff as well.
Small stuff here and there.
Yeah, maybe. Like, unless at some point Kanye said, "Let me start paying you," or
I would hope so. I would hope so.
He was working for like a TV show beforehand, wasn't it?
Yeah. So he had some like skills or background in TV that he could have used.
He's the guy that truly is like, I'm really gonna have to bet my life on this.
Yeah.
And then jumped in deep. Yeah. And the guy jumped in deep with happened to be Kanye.
Okay. And then like off the back of that caution, then to fully divide or to clear up what I'm saying, it's more believing in your ability. He believed in his abilities to be a rapper when everyone said he couldn't be a rapper, and he was confident to do that. However, like you said, he had the skills of a talented producer. And when you break down practically what he did, those skills that he had allowed him to network and put him in other rooms. So because he was a talented producer, he could be in the same room as Jay-Z. Like, these people are talking about dinner with Jay-Z. He was recording with Jay-Z. You get me? Like, he was seeing how, at the biggest artist at the time, he saw how he recorded. He would hear nuggets of information and gems that Jay-Z might have dropped about the industry at that time, or like how to go about as a rapper. So he had, people he could look up to and learn from, and he put himself in that door. So it's not like he came out of nowhere and became a rapper. He networked and did all those other things.
He
You
had
also
a
have to
start.
bear in mind,
Yeah.
he had 2 mentors growing up. Well, at different times, obviously, that even taught him how to make beats. Because a lot of people will be like, if I believe in myself, yeah, the same way Kanye believed in himself, yeah, man's gonna be on Grime Daily every other week, bro. I'll do it. I'll be on every channel. Listen, I'll be on YouTube trending every day. Listen, Kanye had to learn from somewhere to get to a point where man don't have to listen to no one. Set man are recording the same beats they've been recording for 2 years in the room, in their mum's house.
Nothing wrong with being in your mum's house.
And they refuse to hear word.
I agree.
No, I'm just saying, same room, nothing has changed. They will keep on doing the same thing. Refuse to listen to anyone about any critique about the music.
Yeah.
Still put out the same ass music.
Jesus. Is this ether or something? This
Yeah.
is a podcast, not ether.
No, I'm just saying that. I'm just saying you have to listen to someone to get to a point where you don't have to listen to no one.
Yeah, there has to be growth.
There has to be growth. Kanye believed in himself. He believed he had talent, but man still learned.
And he studied his craft really
Exactly.
deeply.
Yeah.
Like there was this thing where I saw that he would reconstruct beats and make the same beat for certain songs. So for I think it was Hypnotize. He made the beat for Hypnotize from scratch. I was like, you know what? It shows that he's actually dedicated to his craft, and for the fact that he's able to reconstruct the beats and make them from scratch and do that with other songs too. So
Yeah, and off the back what Tom's saying, you have to believe in yourself and you need to have the work ethic to believe in yourself. Adaptability, like believing in yourself, it just gives you confidence to work hard enough, to go out and seek information, to be adaptable. That's what it's like a battery, and believing in yourself gives you the energy to do all those other things. It's not like energy on its own when you don't use it, it just sits there. You get me? Like you believe in yourself, but you're not really doing anything to exercise that belief at the same time. So there's more components that go into it. Like I get what you're saying. Like people can just get lost in, I believe in myself, so
I can do it. I'm talented enough, and I believe in myself from the get go. With no experience in the music industry, these man will say I'm talented enough. I believe in myself. I should be successful, bruv. No experience in this industry. You think believing in yourself is going to carry you the whole way there?
yeah.
Big man, you're dumb. You're actually dumb because
Tommy actually savage.
No, but you need someone like Tom, bro. You need someone like Tom.
you're actually dumb because you need to learn. You need to grow as an artist. No one, big man, Jay-Z didn't come out of the womb just spitting the bars he's spitting now. Yeah,
He was on the corners dealing crack, spitting those bars in his head, memorizing them because he couldn't write nothing down, had no pen, no paper, and then he'd go to the studio and them same bars he was spitting on the sidewalks, he remembered it, and that's how Jay-Z got his
Is
stuff.
actually true, though?
Yeah, because Jay-Z doesn't write. I'd say 99% of the time Jay-Z doesn't write. So he'd memorize his bars in his head, then go spit them straight out, so he wouldn't write anything.
Did he actually do crack?
Yeah, Jay-Z was a drug dealer, bro.
Oh man.
I find it crazy that artists actually don't write their songs. Like for me, Biggie's one of my favorite artists.
Who?
Is Notorious B.I.G.
Oh yeah.
Biggie. And like I find it crazy that for one of his songs called Notorious Thugs, he didn't write that at all. He just spat it straight off the dome.
Swear.
Yeah.
Really?
He was paranoid that some people would steal like his rhyme and writing book, so he just wrote some of his songs just straight off the dome.
No, that's true. It's like a
Well,
chef that
not
memorizes the
wrote,
recipe.
but as he spat his bars off the dome.
Yeah, some people are just that talented.
No, he is that talented. But with Jay-Z, his Biggie was freestyle, but with Jay-Z, it was just, he'd write it in his head and just keep it in his head. He didn't freestyle it straight on the go, on the spot. He just recited what he remembered. But that's still talented in its own, because it's still amazing to remember an entire verse with a hook and everything like that. Yeah.
If you're going to it, big man, be ready to learn.
Nah, Tom, go in on these people, and I'll
Just be
say
ready
why
to
it's
learn.
important.
Because people don't want to hear word. They don't want to hear word. And a word is enough for the wise. Listen, I'm starting to sound like my dad, bro.
All you need is the wife beater vest and the sandals now.
Yeah, yeah. But like Tom's going hard, but you have to kill ego as well and be humble. But where Kanye believed in himself, but like Tom was saying, he was humble enough to still have mentors. He wasn't delusional to a point where he's like, I don't need no one to teach me how to make beats, man. I don't need to. I'll just go in the studio. I believe in myself, so let me just.
Whatever I put out will
tap
be
some
gold.
stuff. Yeah.
Listen, there's a fine line between self-belief and delusion.
Yeah.
There's a fine line.
But yeah, like you just need to humble yourself, kill the ego, and then go in and do the work, fam.
Facts.
But just where Kanye started, I guess you can say he's consistent, right?
Yeah, he is
Definitely.
consistent. He's consistent.
Yeah, like
It makes sense now.
it makes
I think that's another good thing for the documentary. It was enlightening because you look at Kanye now, and the reason he's been in the media really for the past couple of years hasn't really been for his music, it's just been for like his behavior and shit he's been doing, right? But you could put that down to his bipolar disorder, right? But then I never cared to look up Kanye's past before. So then when I saw this documentary and the relationship he had with his mom, which has always been like obvious from his music and stuff, but just seeing it on camera, like him coming around with his friends, the cameraman as well. Then he was just like, he knocked on the door. And his mum was like, "Oh, Kanye?" And he was like, "Yeah, I got a couple of people with me." She let them in. They all start hugging, blah, blah, blah. Sit down, start rapping. And you see Kanye, his mum say, "Yeah, he could seem a little bit narcissistic, all that kind of sort of stuff." And that's definitely what you could say about Kanye now. Yeah, the way he acts sometimes seems a bit narcissistic. Even Kanye just being annoyed that someone referred to him as on the radio station. They didn't say Kanye West when they said featuring, like produced by Kanye West. They said produced by Kanye. He was like, "Oh, those people that call you by your first name, man. Like you're just
like you're just any man."
Yeah, like you're just any man.
Yeah.
He said next thing they'll be calling me Ye. I was like, wow, because he goes by Ye now. He'll take Ye now.
Yeah. Didn't he legally change his name to Ye?
Apparently so.
Yeah, apparently. Yeah,
Like something that used to. He was joking, obviously, at the time, but no, what now it's just become commonplace.
Yeah.
He's just that household name guy kind of now.
Kanye West.
Yeah.
And I don't know, his dream was to work his way up to be Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, Walt Disney, like to be that guy where you say the first and last name, Jeff Bezos, Kanye West, Elon Musk, like you know them ones that maybe my name's too long to be saying full like that, because I genuinely think like you're given certain names that people can say off the bat. You get me?
Yeah.
There aren't that many long names that you say proper.
Like literally, like one of my favorite Kanye moments was when he was on his Drink Champs the podcast episode, and he's like, "I'm gonna name drop a couple people today." So I was in a meeting with the CEO of IKEA.
Yeah,
I know you like that one. That's what he said, and then he was like name dropping all these other businesses and these people that he was meeting. So you could say that he's actually really worked his way up there.
Yeah, he's a respectable businessman. Like people talk about Jay-Z and business, but Kanye is the king of marketing. Like just this whole what's happening with Kanye now in present day, I don't know and it's sad because I genuinely don't know if he's like fighting for his family or if he's promoting an album. You get me? Like it's actually confusing because I genuinely want to know if after this album drops, will you still be posting on Instagram every single day?
That's true.
And thing
Wait, go on, mate.
sorry, I was just gonna say like, because people are saying, "Oh, you should be making fun of him, so and so because of mental illness." Thing is, with Kanye, again, king of marketing, how can we? Obviously, there's been certain times when man's had a breakdown. It's different, but I'm talking about his day-to-day behavior on socials. How much can you actually chalk up to what's going on in his head and what he's doing for marketing? Like people are on about, if like you think people like act normal, you think people that aren't going through anything would be acting like this. You guys just make fun of someone with mental illness, but bro, he knows how to blow up when he wants to.
Yeah,
exactly. Like,
so how much can you actually chalk up to whatever mental illnesses that he's suffering with?
Have you seen his Insta recently? He's treating it like it's a meme page.
Yeah. He's posting anything. Skeet. His mortal enemy.
He's literally treated it like it's a meme page.
Because right now he's kind of reminding me of 50 Cent.
Yeah,
He's kind of reminding me of 50 Cent.
Yeah, because 50's on the Bants thing too, but 50's he's calculated with it, and Kanye's the same. He's like that because like he understands his narrative, and some guy was talking about it like maybe on TMZ or some news guy, and they were talking like Kanye basically said, "Oh, make sure you post the one where I'm acting out because that's what people expect of me, and that's gonna do views." Like he's aware of his public image and how to use his public image. And like I said, I'll be very disappointed in my man just disappearing after the album drops. Like, rah, so you only talked about your family, pretended to be this guy. I'm fighting for my life here. They're taking away my kids. I can't see my kids. Album drops. Silence. What happened to your kids, Kanye?
Nah. One of the funniest posts he put on was when he put that picture saying he wasn't hacked. Man looked like he got kidnapped by ISIS.
Nah, bro. It was the Kardashian clan, fam. The KKK. The Kardashian clan were holding man hostage too.
Nah.
Wait, any new posts?
Yeah, there's bare new posts, but I remember something huge, yeah?
Yeah.
So yesterday, he was like, Donda 2 is only going to be available on his platform, the STEM player.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
that little circular thing, like
Yeah.
the mini Google Home, yeah? So that's the only thing it's going to be available on. And you have to pay $200 for that.
Yep.
I swear he sold a lot, isn't
Yeah.
he?
He sold
2
a
million.
lot. He sold a lot.
The latest one.
Yeah, the numbers are there.
2 million in 24 hours.
To be honest, I understand the position he's coming from because some people say he's crazy for doing that, but one, he's made money and he wants to keep the streaming platforms out of it.
Yeah.
Like as you see now, he's like beefing with the CEO of Spotify or whatever.
Yeah.
I've not kept up to date as of lately, but I kind of get it because you don't unless you get a certain number of streams, you're not earning that much money. Because I swear on Spotify for like a stream is 0.0003. I was like,
We're talking 10 zeros before you get $1.
exactly.
It's like-
Like, so I understand the angle of where he's coming from of making exclusive. Is it on a pod? What's it called?
It's the STEM player.
The STEM player. So I understand this angle of why he's putting the songs on that exclusive.
It's like an iPod.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the little iPod where he plays music off it. And yeah, that's a STEM player right there.
Yeah.
Like it's cool though what it does for music. Like you become a DJ so you can isolate vocals for certain parts of the song. It lets you do a lot of things. It gives you a better listening experience actually. And the thing is, that's something Kanye can do because he has the facilities. As an artist, he has enough capital to make a STEM player, distribute it, and
Exactly.
keep streaming platforms out. Maybe he might sell this to other artists and say, hey, Drake, here's 1 million STEM players. Take that, put your album on it, and then do the same thing. Fuck the streaming labels. That might be how that business goes down in the future, where artists are now giving out STEM players. But me personally, I don't see it being a full-time thing because we all like a centralized place to listen to songs.
Yeah,
bro.
it's a gimmick. It won't last
Yeah.
long. It won't last long purely
Definitely.
because if you have to pull this out to listen to Donda 2,
That's
even if
that's
it's-
effort.
even if it's good, even if it's a great album, yeah, that's long.
Exactly.
Like you're not taking that with you everywhere.
No.
Everybody loves convenience these days. That's why Spotify's perfect for it. Like, remember the times when people went through the effort of torrenting their favorite albums,
Yeah.
whereas Spotify now, just type it up, everything's there for you.
Not even torrenting. YouTube
Tubing.
converter, fam.
Tubity vibes, innit? Tubity vibes.
Yeah, just you convert that, download it, put it in your file. Like I downloaded too much music, fam, and Spotify came here and killed all the hackers, all the illegal music that was going on.
I used to laugh at people that paid for Spotify. Now look at me.
And here we
And
are.
here we are, bro. Yeah. I don't know. Does anyone here use Apple Music?
Nah.
I have it free.
Yeah. Oh, well.
But
You're not gonna. You're
No,
not
I
gonna
got it on
keep
my
it.
laptop, but I don't
That's
really
sweet.
use it.
Are they the same price?
Huh?
Apple Music and
Similar.
Spotify.
Similar price bracket.
For me, I just prefer Spotify. They put me onto so much new music.
Listen, Spotify Radio is the plug.
But Apple Music has that podcast with Zayn or Zach.
They do, but I just go and watch it on YouTube.
Yeah, they have a good podcast.
Zane Lowe.
Zane Lowe podcast where he interviews artists, and I think he's a pretty good interviewer. like,
Yeah,
his
that
style
amazing
of interview.
interviewer.
Based on YouTube.
Yeah, yeah,
They should have made it exclusive.
No, they do, but you just find clips of it on YouTube.
Oh.
yeah.
Wait, I'm
Even
not-
full episodes, like
I'm not sure if they make it exclusive, but
no, it's not exclusive. There's full
it's on-
episodes.
yeah.
Yeah, definitely. But Spotify is moving to the exclusive creative thing. So
They've
like
been doing
people
it
like academics, Joe Rogan, they're keeping their videos on Spotify. Spotify might just turn into YouTube, bro.
Yeah.
Like if they let any podcaster make videos, it's basically YouTube at that
Wait, do
point.
they let like Joe Rogan and them make videos on Spotify?
Yeah, but
It's
it's only a select few people that can make videos.
They
on
have
Spotify.
videos on Spotify.
Yeah, they do
Yeah.
a Nice Baby Show as well.
Nice videos on
Yes,
Spotify.
so
Yeah,
basically,
Joe
if
Rogan.
you just type, go on Joe Rogan or 90s Baby Show, for example,
Yeah.
on their latest episodes for 90s Baby Show, they have like a little video in the bottom of the screen, and then you can tap if you want to go full screen.
So
Yeah.
do I have to like?
Yeah,
What do
play
I
it.
do? Do I actually have to play the episode?
Yes.
Well,
Yeah.
let me.
Just mute
Yeah.
it. But yeah, so it turns
There you
into.
go.
Do you think they're doing
Yo, this is
a
mad.
limit on who can actually put videos on? I think it's like if you have maybe a certain number of
I
followers on
have
Spotify.
no idea.
Oh, it might
to
be
look into
just the
it.
exclusives. To be fair,
Is 90 Babies
actually,
exclusive
no.
now?
To be fair, they're not exclusive. They are what's it called? They still post the whole videos on what's it called?
on YouTube.
Yeah, it's I think because I know 3 Shots is exclusive because they can't post the full episode.
Do they post videos on YouTube though?
Well, let me-
On
They
there,
don't
no.
post- they
No, they're
don't
not
post
posting videos on Spotify.
They do clips on YouTube.
videos. Okay.
But that's mad, you know. I didn't know they could do that on Spotify.
Yeah. And as time goes by, more people are gonna gain access to be able to post videos on. So I don't know. Spotify's cutting into that YouTube cake. You know, getting a nice slice of that. Yeah.
But are you guys looking forward to Donda 2?
If someone leaks it, if someone leaks it, like, and someone will leak it. And the way I genuinely think he's gonna release Donda on streaming platforms. Like,
No, eventually.
He definitely has to.
and you know what's mad? No one's gonna say anything too. Like, you lied. We spent £200 thinking it's only gonna be on this. Like, no one's gonna say anything. He's
It costs
gonna.
£200.
Yeah, it costs £200 to get
$200,
the
to get the sampler. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
people have money to spend on that. Nah, I'm just deep in it. $200 on that little thing to just hear one album.
One album.
For me, an album doesn't slap that
An
much.
album
Let me
is
buy my
never-
vinyls,
never-
fam.
Yeah, honestly, vinyls, you can do all that other stuff, man. But nah, Donda, I don't think it's gonna be that good. I listened to the 504 and New York City song. It's alright. It's alright. It didn't slap that off the grids. Off the grid, just that goes too hard, man.
And what would you guys say is Kanye's best album?
My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy.
You said that so fast.
I haven't listened to all of them to give it.
Anyone that says college dropout, any of the first ones, it's just nostalgia talking. I can't listen to. I can't listen to people that only use nostalgia, fam. I can't be bothered.
Nah, for me,
I agree with Taff. I'm sorry, what are you going to say?
Go away.
No, I say I agree with Taff, but I think 808s and Heartbreaks is underrated.
You must have been going through it, boy.
Yeah.
I feel like people need to talk.
Man was screaming the lyrics with conviction at 8
Nah,
years
for
old.
me, was street lights. Yeah. Oh, listen, street lights. That song hits my heart. I don't know why it hits my heart,
did
but I
it go?
love it.
How did it go?
Street lights going. It's pretty much just him singing. It's not even rapping.
Oh.
It's just him singing. But I just like the song. I just like the song, but I just feel like that album isn't talked about as much as it should be. Because he has so many other great albums.
Wait,
That was like-
Streetlights, was that an 808 Heartbreak? Or?
Yeah, 808s and Heartbreaks.
Oh, calm. Like, for me, same with Taff, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, but closely behind it is Graduation.
Graduation.
That's the one with Stronger on it, Barry Bonds. Like, nah. He's just crazy.
Which one did I say?
I don't know.
That comes after.
What?
Yeah, then I'd put in the nostalgia ones. I'll put in his first album,
College Dropout.
College Dropout. Yeah, I think that had the.
Can we go back to the moment where he was playing All Falls Down, the original one with Lauryn Hill on it, and the executive behind the desk just stood there, like just sat there like
she didn't care, bro. She didn't care. But I hear the backstory behind that. You know, Wayno, he was on thingy. Wayno basically said the backstory behind that clip where he went in is that he did that bare, like he did it like 10 times, camera crew. So they were just like, it was normal. Maybe by that time they recorded that specific shot they used. So the context behind it seems like no one cared, but it could have been they were just tired.
And to another point of view is I saw someone on Twitter saying people are acting like they would have known that was a hit song too. So it's like, I do get it, but on the other hand, it it shows that some executives may not know what may not understand what they're doing and like may not be able to identify a hit song. I'm not saying that I could or your average Joe could, but like with music, as we've all said before, it's just chance.
Yeah.
Anything could happen. The same thing happened to It Wasn't Me by Shaggy. The exact same thing happened. All the record executives hated it. No one fucked with it. It was some DJ from Hawaii who downloaded it illegally from this thing called Napster. And that's when he started getting all the calls in saying, what song is this? It Wasn't Me by Shaggy. Thank you. So, and look how it is today. Like, it literally, remember at the time it might even still be a pop culture reference. If someone says you did something, it wasn't me.
Yeah.
So the thing is, like, as you said before, you may have to just have some faith in yourself.
Yeah.
And those executives behind those chairs may not know what they're doing sometimes.
Yeah, and it pisses me off too that if you think these executives are smart, they're not, bro. It's all lizard brain. Like, I promise you, it's just their lizard brain. Like, well, Jay-Z's popular and he raps about drugs. Kanye's not rapping about drugs, so this isn't a banger. That's it. That's it. Same with movies, bro. Like, you look at The Godfather or Scarface, yeah? at that period in time in Hollywood, drug movies were popping. If you come to these big things like Sony, Universal, and talk about, well, we have this movie about something, maybe they call it The Notebook, yeah? They're going to say, The Notebook, are you mad? We want drugs, bro. What do you mean? Right now, superhero films are popping up. Amazon has a fucking superhero shows that it has The Boys, superheroes. Netflix has its own thing, superheroes. Like, everyone's running to find some superhero franchise because that's the in thing now. So if you're the guy that came up with Squid Game, yeah, and you're trying to give Squid Game to people while Iron Man's dropping and all that stuff, yeah, they're going to look at you like you're dumb.
Yeah.
Like, they're going to say Squid Game's a shit show. No one's going to watch that because they're just basing it on what was previously successful, hoping to replicate success again. Because with executives, it's just about money. They just want to know, if this worked, this might also make me money. I don't know that. That's unknown, and I don't want to risk my money on something that's not been proven and unknown. So I'll always put money in stuff that's previously worked. Because again, you are asking for like 10 million, like 40 million. So that makes sense. But yeah, you can't rely on executives and someone to tell you that. So that's why you, as an artist, it's hard because you can either be creative or you can be appropriate for the industry and the marketplace. So you might need to drop a few drill bars because drill's in right now, and then maybe transition into something else because people can understand you rapping drill. Like the executives, their lizard brains like, well, Heady One's popping. You sound like Heady One, so let's give him a deal. Like it's that simple. It's sad, but it's true.
Nah,
honestly,
for real, man.
Yeah.
And bouncing off that with music executives and whatnot. Do you guys think that artists not owning their masters is fair to an extent?
Because how else will they make
money? That's my point.
Like, it's a risk, isn't it?
Yeah, like, for example, if, let's say, Taylor Swift, she's going through her own masters battles right now. Imagine the A&R person finds this person, puts all their investment in them, and then Taylor Swift's like, oh, fuck this, let's go. That means you've lost so much more money.
Can you explain masters real quick?
So basically, music masters is the ownership or the actual song in itself.
Yeah.
So some people, so for example, like a lot of artists don't own their masters, and owning your masters gives you the opportunity to make more money for yourself. So for example, when music is played in like these massive commercial spaces, it's always made. For example, The Weeknd. Do you know the song "The Hills"?
Yeah.
That's literally played for me. Like me and my mates joke about it, saying The Weeknd makes car advert music and whatnot because that's where a lot of money's made.
Yeah.
And if you don't own your masters, you don't generate extra money for that. If you get what I mean.
So they take your song and give it out to people, and you don't even make peas.
But you can pick and choose which masters you want. Like there's percentages and whatnot behind the whole thing.
Yeah.
I don't know fully myself, but that's just the gist of it. Because I'm still I'm interested in the music industry, and I'm learning more about it as the day goes on. So that's just the gist of music masters.
I don't know. I just think that people, because you see on Twitter a lot, it's like, oh, I can't believe Diddy swindled this so and so out of his masters and won't give a bad. They were on about, I think they were talking about Diddy a while ago.
Yeah.
And they're on about, I can't believe he took his masters and won't give it back, won't sell them back. What the hell? Aren't you the one that said you want to
ownership?
Yeah, I
for
get
black
that.
community? I was like, hold on, you think he's gonna do it for free? You think that, bruv? Because if this shit flops, Diddy's out of pocket, not the artist. Diddy is losing. Diddy could really lose money if he does. So you think he's gonna accept all the chance of loss without the chance of success?
Exactly.
Yeah, like I'm not in the music industry or anything like that. Yeah, but all I understand is people need to make money.
Definitely.
If you come to me as an artist and say, okay, I want studio time that you'll have to fund. I want you to fund my marketing and all these things that I want you to fund. Yeah, and you're saying this to me. My question is, where do I make profit? Like, please tell me where I make profit. When is it okay for me to take money? Because the narrative in the media now is these record labels are stealing money from us. And you are getting shagged in your deals. Yeah. You are. But they have to make money. So there needs to be a conversation where people can say, okay, these 360 contracts where you're making money out of everything we do, this is slavery. You get me? So let's, find a middle ground where you're happy with the money you make and we're happy with the money that we're giving you. So it's not one-sided. Because you hear a lot of artists say, they don't make money off streams. Like so many rappers that I listen to will come out and say, I've never made money off this album, that album, that album.
Yeah.
I only make money off tours and the concerts. That's it. So when COVID hit, bare rappers were struggling, bro.
Yeah,
No
even
concerts to feed them.
with COVID, like you have music legends, for example, Bob Dylan. He was selling his masters. His masters value was 400 million.
Right.
And that was because he's getting older. He may not be able to have the energy to tour anymore. And he's thinking about... I'm not saying that this is what he's thinking about, but other music legends, what they're thinking about when they sell their masters. Because that is a lot of money to have in at once to give ownership of your music masters to someone else. Yeah. So music masters is really important, and it's a lot in the music industry.
I mean, what Taylor Swift ended up doing, especially ended up re-recording all her original songs.
She re-recorded it,
them as well.
and she keeps everything because she writes her own music.
And if you what's it called? If you go on Spotify, you can actually like let's say Love Story.
Yeah.
It will if you search up Love Story, it will come up as Love Story. Then a second song will come up as like Love Story in bracket Taylor's version.
Yeah.
Wait, so does that change that if you re-record it yourself?
Yeah,
No, because it means that every stream you get, it's going to her instead of the label.
Even though it's the same song?
Same song, but it's just who owns it.
Yeah. Do you remember the singer JoJo?
Yeah,
She did the same thing.
Okay. TLC, they were in a similar pickle, isn't it?
Yeah, they were the Grammys out here saying we're not that
broke.
rich.
They said we're broke.
Yeah.
They flat out said we're broke on camera. Like, we ain't made money from our albums.
Isn't
we're one of the top selling groups, top 3, I think they were saying at the time.
Fam, that is the original broke boy anthem. No scrubs.
Yeah.
And they didn't make money as much from.
Honestly.
Nah, it's crazy.
But isn't it like whenever like a song on Spotify it says remastered? Does that mean what's it called? Someone else owns the masters. What does that actually mean?
Remastered could generally mean like they redid it and touched it up.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they would outright say remastered because that doesn't mean anything to your everyday consumer.
No, I mean like
Yeah,
you know
what
on
you mean.
Spotify
Like-
when it actually says remastered.
Like with Michael Jackson's songs with the Bad album remastered.
Okay.
I think it's just touching it up.
Let me do my Googles.
Because to me, like I said, I don't know how else labels make money. Streaming platforms, they cut a big chunk. But I saw a chart that showed you exactly where all that money goes from when you get that stream and why the artist is at the bottom. If it's like a hierarchy, the artist is down here when it comes to payment from that stream, bro.
Yeah.
Your label's getting a piece. Spotify is dividing that up. Advertising, all these other things are eating off that one song you make, bro. And then you're just there at the bottom.
Yeah,
So
but that's because, and this is peak, but then you just have to think about it like this, right? Notice definitely how they did it a couple of years ago, right? For a lot of rappers and artists, is they'll give you money. We'll give you a set amount of money, but we want, let's say 3-4 albums from you. Mm-hmm. So you have to commit to a promise that you're going to be with this record, give them 3-4 albums, and they're going to give you a large sum of money right now.
Also, they tell you when to drop those albums, so you can't just bash out 3 in a year.
Bash out 3 in a year. Yeah. So you do 3-4 albums, and then you would have already made, let's say, a couple million off those albums before you even made those albums a couple years ago, right? Mm-hmm. Those 3-4 albums, let's say they won that over 6 years. That's 6 years you're just committed to this record. To this record label.
Yeah.
You could not be passionate about it anymore. You could have done 2 albums now. Maybe one of them flopped. In that time, your value can dip as an artist.
Definitely.
Yeah. So you've already got money. If you invested that well, you can still be living off that money, right? Whereas the label, but we have to think about it, the label has to bet that your albums are going to be successful.
Yeah.
Because they, like you said, studio time, distributing. Because you have to pay to put your money on Spotify in the first place, right?
Yeah.
So then after that as well, that's why the artist ends up being at the bottom.
Yeah.
That's why as an artist you need to negotiate if you're doing one of those lump sums for album deals. Yeah. For a set amount of albums, like don't ever commit for bare long. I know Billions. Who was it? Millions. Sorry. The rapper. He committed to like a couple bags, and he was like 7-8 albums. He's still fighting to get out.
Are you talking about Millions, the rapper?
In the
The
UK?
Brom.
Wait,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
Where you deep it? Michael
I
Jackson.
love that guy. No, he didn't.
He did.
No, he didn't.
He's fighting to get out of that right now.
How many albums?
7.
I think it's like 7-8 albums. I'm pretty sure.
When
Like
you-
you put bags
When
down.
you put that in context, Michael Jackson had a career from 6-year-old child to a 50-year-old man. He just about released 10 studio albums.
Nah,
You see what I
free
mean?
up Millions, fam. You know what's peak about an
peak.
artist, yeah? I watch DJ Academics, like he's more into this shit, and his delivery is funny when he's telling you this. But
Yeah.
what's worst about the Millions situation is, if Millions isn't hot anymore, what happens is another artist comes in right? And because you signed that contract and that other artist is in there, when that artist becomes hot, you get put on a shelf.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You can't do anything because you signed this contract about these albums, and the label's like, well, even if you gave us those albums, they won't make any money. So why would we waste studio time? So there's no
Exactly.
incentive to get those albums out. So you're in a contract where you're just locked in, one album in, millions. Oh no.
That's what they tried to do with Frank Ocean, but Frank Ocean finessed them.
Yeah, he
man.
finessed it.
What did he do? What was the
So
story behind that one?
basically, he signed to Def Jam, I think it was, as a songwriter. He's wrote songs for Justin Bieber, Beyonce, other big artists and whatnot. And he didn't like that. He wanted to be his own person, Frank Ocean. And they shelved him for quite some time. So then he dropped his mixtape Nostalgia Ultra, one of my favorite Frank projects. And the record label had taken notice of him. So as time went on, he started to make Channel Orange. Channel Orange released. It went massive. I think he won a Grammy for that album as well. And then he went away. And then because I'll need to look into what he was actually signed to, if that information's out there. But he basically dropped an album that really wasn't as important as I'd say. And it was hard to access because literally the album's called Endless. And it was just a long video of him building some stuff. It was hours long. And supposedly that had fulfilled his contractual obligation. And then he released Blonde afterwards. So that means he gets all his money. Like if you look on Spotify now, I think it says it's dropped onto Blonded. I think that's his record label. And for that, it was exclusively on Apple Music for a while.
Yeah.
And they gave him 20 million. The record label didn't see any of that. That Endless album, that only made around $150,000.
Yeah.
So it didn't make him much money in the long run. And it's not on streaming platforms as well. So it's not as accessible. So he's just there chilling.
And just the music industry in general, from what I hear, you can be an independent artist like Russ, Chance the Rapper, and some other people that are independent, but the independent grind is long and you might not get the recognition because, again, a label might have the networking opportunities. You might share a label with Dave, or
They have the budget to actually put you on there.
Yeah, they have the budget to put you in these places. The Brits, they have the budget to put you around people to get your clout up. When you're independent, it's just you and your fan base, and it's a very slow and steady grind. But the reward you reap is that you get to keep your own money in that. You get me?
Yeah, people need to focus more on the business side. I'm not saying that I'm some expert, but as time goes on and you see it time and time again, you need to have your head screwed on about the business side.
Because these are predatory deals. They are predatory deals. Like, they just take advantage of you. And I think Academics was saying something like this. Oh, but this is another thing to take note of, yeah? If artists collectively say that the record labels are taking money from them, why do artists then make their own labels? Why does the Baby have a record label where he signs artists under him? Lil Baby has a label. Young Thug has a label. All these rappers now have labels where they get artists. It's like a pyramid scheme. Like, I lost my money to these man, so let me get these man, and I start making money off them. Because the way Academics explain it is that if you had 10 artists in a label, all you need is one to blow, and that one winner will pay for the rest of these wastemen. That's how much money that these record labels make. Like, just sign anyone. Like, if as long as one of them does well. Like, these wastemen, you can just put them on a shelf like Millions. Because, bro, if Millions doesn't drop, and like if he doesn't maintain relevance and become a bigger artist in the UK, he's on a shelf where as soon as the next hot guy on that label comes, man. And we'll never hear from him again. Like, the label will finish him. Damn. That's tragic to hear about that one, man.
Tough times, man.
Very tough times. Very, very tough times. But I think crypto or the NFT technology, it might change how music is handled in terms of payment and money coming to the artist.
Yeah. Because
there could be a direct-to-consumer relationship. So think of the stem player where you're buying this album on a stem player and it's yours. You hold that. Like, it's from Kanye straight to you. But with an NFT, it's like a link where you can access this. I think the technology is still being made. Like, you could probably have maybe someone out there that's smart enough will figure out the puzzle of how do we get artists to make all their money from stream to the listener.
Someone will figure that out because
someone will
technology
figure
is
it out.
crazy.
For right
Like-
now, we're just gonna keep trading these apes.
You can literally just make NFTs from everything.
Yeah.
Like I was watching this UFC press conference with Israel Adesanya and Robert Whittaker.
Yeah.
He had an NFT. So this press conference was for their second fight. He had an NFT where he had like a video replaying of him knocking him out in the first round.
Oh, I saw it.
you
Did
know-
he put it on the chain, innit? Nah. Israel's actually funny. He's actually
too
funny. He's proper funny, man. And no. The NFT thing, it's serious. It's definitely serious. Yeah, and that. Oh, time. Oh, well, it's almost an hour, guys. It's been a lovely conversation with you. We talked a lot about the industry, the Kanye West documentary, some positive role models in your life. You got an insight into the Sliders record label. On our right there, we have our music lawyer, our sound engineer, another sound engineer.
Sound engineer. Tough. I don't do
Tom,
sound.
it was a play on words. You do engineering, so I was like sound engineer, but
I'm just saying. You're the one. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. You're the
Stick
one.
with the script.
I'm just saying. You're the one that edits this shit, bro. Not
There was
me.
no script involved anyway.
oh Lord.
I'm just saying, you're the one that edits this stuff, bro.
But
Before we cut,
yeah,
what would you guys say is your song of the week
song of the week. Ooh.
for you? For you all.
Song I've been listening. Listen, Mo put me onto a song. Listen, I've been bopping to it since.
Okay.
Hold on.
You're welcome, by the way.
No, I was listening. To it. I was like, because we were at Toby's yard, remember, and we were listening to music. I was like, this is a rhythm, because we weren't even paying attention to the music. I was like, this is actually a bop.
While you're still thinking of yours, I managed to go into Izzo by Jay-Z.
Oh,
Yeah, it
cla-
was on that. It was
very,
on the
very
doc-
on, very on brand with this
It was
episode.
on the documentary.
Yeah. Oh, it reminded
It
you,
reminded
innit?
me, just like,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
the song
Bare
is
streams went up, fam, when the Kanye West documentary dropped.
Definitely.
Like, what's yours, Fowler?
For me, it's Summer Madness by Kool and the Gang.
Who's cool in the gang?
You don't know who Kool and the Gang?
No.
They made
Uncultured swine.
You've defo heard one of the Celebration.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're the band who made that song.
Okay. And what was the song?
Get
you
down on it, come on, you get
them.
down on
Yeah.
it.
Bro, these are
who's cool in
advert
the
songs,
gang?
you know?
Yeah.
These are proper advert
Nah,
songs.
some-
that I only
some-
need-
At this
So-
point, yeah.
Summer Madness is one of my literally when I was doing my it's not even my song of the week. It's just my song of all time at the moment. Because remember Spotify Wrapped, they do that every year.
Yeah.
When I discovered that song at the time, when they did that Spotify Wrapped, I played that 650 times when they did the Wrapped. So it's like that's my go-to song. But yeah, Summer Madness by Kool and the Gang.
Yep. My go-to song is Gunman Shift by Skank.
Of course.
Oh,
This
that's
hoodlum.
Of
really like, honestly, Crocodile Teeth. When Crocodile Teeth like hit TikTok and stuff, that blew up. But Gunman Shift, when that hits, yeah, I'll be on now. I need to hear that on a night out one time. But yeah, Tom,
What's it called? Paris in the Rain or Black Hole Sun?
what's that? Is that country?
No, it's not. I don't even know.
Just because I'm not tough, not just because I'm not a big driller like you with a fat chain around my neck.
Nah, this
Yeah?
guy's moving like DMX, you
Bro,
know.
look at that. That's a bike chain, tough.
all he
I've
needs,
been waiting for this.
all he needs to
Look
do is
at
go
that chain,
bald.
bro. Tough, I beg, be careful before your neck turns green.
That's why I'm wearing it over the.
But Paris in the Rain by Love and Black Hole Sun by Patrick CC, Joanna Z and Skywater.
But what genre is that?
I can't
R&B.
even.
I'd say R&B.
R&B.
I'd say
I
R&B.
couldn't even tell you. They're just vibey.
Nah.
Oh, you listen to it too?
I'm the one that gave it to
Oh, really?
Yeah,
To put the
nah.
cherry on top for this episode,
Yeah.
we need Taff to sing Rough Riders anthem. Or what these bitches want from a nigga.
Hey man, that's true. What these bitches want from a nigga. But yeah, man, this was the Sliders record label. Come sign to us, man. What is it? Come to Def Jam.
We'll shove you and take your money.
Yeah. The Death Row Records, nigga. Hey, we out of here, man.
Anyway, guys, thank you for listening. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe.
Yes, sir.
Follow us on Instagram and TikTok. Like the page on Facebook.
Yes.
Follow us on Spotify and all major streaming platforms except
All
for
of them.
Spotify.
All
Because
of that, all of
Spotify is your main streaming platform at this big age. Because more time people are listening to this 17 minimum. At this
17.
big age, if SoundCloud is your mainstream platform, have some fucking shame.
We ain't even on that. Bro.
Have some fucking shame.
Shame.
Listen, I'm not even saying you need to get Spotify Premium, but SoundCloud being your main
can't-
platform, like SoundCloud is the secondary thing. That can't be your mate. Have
Yeah,
shame.
you talk to him, bro. Talk to him.
I can't lie. Spotify on basic plan is dead. I understand why people are on SoundCloud.
It is
dead.
The adverts kill you.
When I deep it,
Get the hacked version.
when I deep
Listen,
it,
if
we
you
were
too-
living like that, you know.
Listen,
Before we even got monthly memberships.
all I'm saying,
college times.
man
College
said
times, it was-
advert every
it
half
was
hour.
like that.
Every half hour, bro. But all I'm saying, if you're too broke for Spotify, you're too broke to have an iPhone. Go get Android and get the hacked version. and
No,
enjoy
we
life.
don't endorse.
talking
We don't endorse that. We
Enjoy
don't
life.
endorse that. We don't endorse
Hold on,
that.
we're talking about Spotify Basics. Some man were living off YouTube, streaming music on YouTube where you can't even turn your phone
Deep
off.
it, deep it,
or leave it.
Wait, are you-
No, but YouTube has that.
YouTube Premium.
now.
No,
I
it
can't
does
lie.
now.
I have that. That works wonders. No,
Just watch a podcast.
no adverts. Never again.
Oh, get
Oh,
adblock. Get
true.
adblock. I
wanna
got
go on your
adblock.
phone.
Oh, on my phone I don't watch YouTube that much.
Oh, fair.
So yeah.
Like literally, like when you think about it, people are actually using YouTube, as you said. Like
Yeah.
you couldn't even turn off the screen; you just had to put it in your pocket and hope for the
Yeah,
best.
hopefully-
And hope for the rest, hope that it
Hope
doesn't
it doesn't
touch
turn off.
the wrong thing.
So that was when you're putting the screen facing outwards.
Yeah.
So it's not rubbing against your leg.
Yeah, man. No, I couldn't do that.
But anyway, thank you guys for listening. Shout out to you, man, for what subscriber count? Listen,
187.
187.
Subscribe, guys. Fucking subscribe.
Let's get to
I
the
won't be asking
200.
nicely no more, bro. Fucking subscribe, bro. I've been asking for too long.
Yes, sir.
Subscribe.
We need to go to Miami. You have to subscribe. Once I get this passport sorted out, we're flying out.
Yeah. That passport's been missing for a while.
Pretty Patel, where are you?
I'm saying, Mo. I'm just saying, Taf. I'm just saying, Mo has Pretty Patel on speed dial still. So you need to be careful.
Wow.
You need to be careful, boy.
Okay, let's wrap this
Anyway,
up.
thanks, guys. Appreciate it. I have been your host, Man Like Tom, King of Toxicity, Voice of the Streets. We love to hear it.
It's been your boy, Who's Tough. You found it on the pod, aka the champion, and we've had.
It's also been your boy Mo, aka the Wild Card.
And we have been joined by
Follow with no AKA.
18 boy.
And this has been Sliders. Sliding
Sliding
out.
out.